Hey clowns, welcome to Crimenelia Street. I'm Tori.
And I'm Sam, and we are gathered here today once again. How was your weekend?
My weekend has been lovely, and the best part about it is that it's Sunday now, but it's still the weekend tomorrow because it's Labor Day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one cannot complain about that. And then also, I'm staying at the house that it's not my marital home, so my ex is not here. Um, and I've just been very light and free feeling the last couple days. So a little
Yeah, that sounds delightful.
stressless. Yeah. It's been nice. So good weekend.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay.
How's your weekend?
It's good. I've been very productive. We're steam cleaning our carpets. So
Oh,
I did like the under the couches a couple days ago. We let it dry, and today I'm going to do the rest of the living room, and I'm doing it in sections because
smart.
it is work.
Yes. And you have a toddler as well.
Oh my gosh, right. And it's like our fridge, it was at like 5:30 in the morning a few days ago. I think it was Wednesday. And I'm like making coffee, and our fridge makes this like alarmingly loud noise that scared me. And then it just stopped working. And we had just bought
What
like all these
happened?
groceries. I
Oh
don't know, man.
no.
I guess it was the compressor. So yeah, we had to put like everything on ice, and it was
What
crazy.
a
But we got
mess.
our new fridge today. So our fridge had kind of done the same thing, almost exactly 3 years ago when I was pregnant.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
so
then this
funny.
time I'm pregnant and it goes out again. So it's like every time I'm pregnant, the fridge goes out. So, yeah, that's my exciting weekend.
Oh yeah, also it wasn't this weekend, but this week, um, I meant to tell you and show this yesterday. I don't think I did. I hit a gas station with the work trailer. Like
Oh
the
dear.
oh dear, yeah.
Oh,
Oh shoot.
oh dag nabbit.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I I don't know. I've always been so good at driving the trailer that maybe I just got too comfortable. I don't know, but the trailer's like cut a little tighter of a turn than like the truck because it's the truck and then we're pulling like our UTV on top of a trailer that's being
Hmm.
towed by the truck. And even as we were leaving our work site, like one of the wheels of the trailer got up on a curb, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I've never done that before. I guess I need to keep in mind that the trailer cuts a turn a bit tighter. And then we pulled into the gas station, and there's like little barricades that protect the pump. Thank
Yeah.
God, thank God for those. So I hit like the back right trailer wheel into one of those barricades, and then like the metal frame around the wheel bent into the tire. And
Oh
like
man.
it looked like if we tried to pull that metal out, like the tire would just go kablooey and hit the ground, right? Because you could see like some of the tire laying on top of the metal because it had like
Dang.
dug into it, right? Luckily, there was a Christian Bros automotive shop like right next door to the gas station because we thought our other option would be we have to disconnect the trailer, like push it with the UTV on it to
Hmm.
a parking space, go buy a tire, come back and figure out how to put this new tire on, right?
Oh man.
So luckily this Christian Bros was there and they didn't sell any tires, but they came over and looked at it and like pried the metal off the wheel and the metal was just it had like picked up some of the tread. That's what was like laying on it. But it didn't
Hmm.
actually puncture into the tire itself, which was pretty incredible because it looked like it was deep in there. Um,
Dang.
I guess those tires have thick tread. And so they pulled that out, but it was still like close to the tire. Like the metal was close enough to the tire where they thought if we like hit a bump or something, like the metal might like impale the tire like while we're driving. So one of the employees brought his like F-350 over, like tied the trailer up to it and started pulling on it with his truck to like pull the metal out far enough away from
Oh
the
my
tire.
gosh.
And this is all like still in the middle of like the gas station. And the
Are you just like
employee,
standing there like
yes, and the employee didn't even know that we hit his gas station. Like, I didn't go in there. I could not show my face in there, but we had two new interns with us. It was their first day, by the way.
oh,
Um, oh,
oh my
and
gosh.
they both went in and they're like, yeah, that guy's so oblivious. Like, he's just wearing like sunglasses in the middle of the day. And then
Oh my
like my
inside.
coworker, yes. And then my coworker went in there after the two interns, and she would like bought something, and he's like, "What did you guys get, a flat tire?" And she's just like, "Something like that, yeah." But the
That
gas
is
station
funny.
wasn't like damaged at all, anyways. Maybe a little scratch on the barricade, but the trailer took the hit.
Oof. Well, I'm sure those things get run into all the time, but well, I'm glad everything's okay. And honestly, you guys should have your own little like docu-series reality show
Right.
thing.
Honestly,
I'm sure it'd be funny.
yeah, like we have some crazy, I don't know, things that we do,
Yeah,
working
and
outside
informative
yeah,
for the environment and stuff, you know?
right. I'll
You
put
should
the
pitch
idea
that.
forward. Yeah.
Have you seen that? There's like this TikTok account for a car dealership somewhere, but their like social media person manager is this girl, and she makes TikToks in the style of The Office, and it's like
Oh my
it's
gosh, no.
hilarious. I'll have to send
Huh.
it to you. The name is escaping me, but yeah, it's some random car dealership like in like Montana or something.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's pretty funny.
I feel like we have to talk about our names today.
Oh, yeah.
I need to know what Death by a Thousand Punts is referring to.
Sure. So I did that. I chose Death by a Thousand Punts in as a nod to football season starting up. Like
Okay.
everyone's doing their fantasy football drafts
Yeah.
today, and all that. So I figured that'd be cool. And speaking of, I was just kind of looking up on Taylor Swift news, and there's this interview that Patrick Mahomes did, and who's on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he said that Taylor Swift has started drawing up plays for fun, and they might put one in.
Coach Swift.
I know, right? Like a jack of all trades, which I'm sure will make, a certain group of people upset.
So mad. The Brad Stats and Chad specifically.
Yes. But
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Women in STEM.
Yep.
You can't stop her.
No. And she bakes. Like, come on.
Right. Homemade Pop-Tarts.
Right? Dang, man. But how about your name?
Mine is Back in the Clown Car. I think was it last week when I said that I'm retiring my clown nose, and well, I'm breaking it back out. I'm dusting it off from
Why
the
not?
week that it's been away. And I'm clowning for the VMAs. I mean, it just makes so much sense with Kanye and that whole thing happening there, and it being Reputation. And I don't know, Taylor Nation's been a little I mean, they've been obviously referencing the VMAs a lot. There was, people were pointing out on TikTok that she wore the pink and yellow 1989 outfit for the last show in London. So I'm back in the clown car.
I mean, all signs point to clowns. So
Right.
there we go.
I saw a TikTok of someone went to the Black Dog in London, and
Yeah.
you may have seen this too. And there was like a group of Swifties just like marching to the smallest man who ever lived bridge, like
my
in a park
gosh.
across the street, and they all had clown noses.
That is amazing. That needs to be us.
I know, yeah.
Oh dear. All right. Well, I'm gonna get into it.
Okay, sad stuff.
Yeah, it's like sad. It's also just really like disturbing,
Oh
creepy.
boy.
Lots of questions, not
Okay.
many answers. So,
Okay.
all right. So, Nicholas Patrick Barclay was known as a troubled kid. His family pretty much all struggled with substance abuse. His mother was a heroin addict. His older brother that had recently moved back into the home, was addicted to cocaine and alcohol. And his father was absent. He never met his dad. And police were often actually called to the Barclay home in San Antonio, Texas for just various like domestic disturbances, reported drug use, and just general like misbehavior. And Nicholas was 13 years old when he went missing on June the 10th, 1994. He had been playing basketball with some friends about a mile and a half away from his home, and called his older brother Jason at home and asked for a ride. Jason said no and just told him to just walk home. But unfortunately, Nicholas never made it. Nicholas would often disappear for a couple days at a time. So when his mother filed a missing persons report 3 days later, the authorities were just kind of like unbothered. He was actually, the following week was going to go to court because his mother couldn't like handle him, I guess. So
Yeah.
he was going to get kind of sent to like a youth camp, one of those youth camps, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad because it just seemed like a really kind of like abusive, unstable household. Like he would
Right.
steal, but it would be things that he needed, like shoes or food or things like that.
Yeah.
Or like he would skip school, like, things like that. It was just seemed like he just had a really difficult childhood and not a lot of support.
Right. Dang, that's so sad.
It was 3 days later when the missing persons report was filed, and the cops didn't really take it seriously. They did begin to start asking his teachers at school about Nicholas, and they said that they had noticed unexplained bruises on Nicholas and had made reports to CPS just before he had went missing as well. Unfortunately, also, like his case never even made it to the news. It was all just kind of like they really just chalked it up to him running away, maybe to avoid going to court, or maybe just he wanted to escape his life in general, like, whatever.
Right. And that's something that you should absolutely pursue, but like you also have to pursue other options as well. That's so sad that it didn't get the proper attention right away.
Exactly. Yeah. So a few months went by, and in September of that year, 1994, Jason, the older brother, called the police and said that he saw Nicholas attempting to break into their garage at their home, but he ran away immediately when he was spotted. And police searched the area, but they did not find any evidence of him being there.
And when was that again?
That was in September of 1994, so just like
Okay.
a few months later that year.
Okay.
So 3 years pass, and in October 1997, Beverly and Carrie, which is his older sister, but she was not living in the home. She had her own family and husband and kids and everything. They were both contacted by the FBI. And they said that authorities in Spain had reached out to them saying they had found a boy that said he was Nicholas Barclay in Spain.
Yeah.
Like halfway around the world. So they're like, oh my God.
Right.
They were able to speak with Nicholas just very briefly on the phone. He didn't say really anything. Like they said, we love you. We can't wait for you to come home, blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, love you or whatever. Like he didn't really talk a lot. So just a very brief kind of conversation. And then plans were made right away for Carrie, his sister, to fly to Spain. And so when Carrie arrived, police took her directly to this youth group home where they were keeping Nicholas, and they were reunited. She then had to go in front of a judge to verify and swear that Nicholas was her brother so that he could be issued a passport to fly home. He was just very quiet. He didn't want to be touched. He was very like standoffish. So the whole family, the mother, Beverly, and Carrie's husband and two children were waiting at the airport. But Jason, the older brother, was notably not at the airport, and he would also not attempt to see his little brother for another 2 months.
Okay.
So you're just kind of like thinking, why? Like, did you
Mm-hmm.
feel guilty about not giving him the ride home?
Right.
Like, apparently they didn't really have a
Did
great relationship to begin with,
Okay.
before he went missing.
Okay. Did you do something to him that also crosses my mind? Okay.
Right, exactly. I forgot if I mentioned it earlier, but Beverly, the mom, had asked him to move back home to help her with Nicholas because she was having so many problems like controlling him.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Beverly said that she thought maybe it would be a good idea so he could have like a male figure in Nicholas's life. Maybe he could help her gain some control over Nicholas because after all, as I mentioned, like Nicholas would frequently be skipping school. He was stealing. He'd even gotten 3 tattoos.
Wow.
Right.
At
At
13.
13.
Wow.
Right. Because he's still just a kid.
Mm-hmm. Prepared to like, I don't know, be on your own and making decisions, like getting tattoos at that age too. Like it's
Right.
just a lot for a kid.
So after they were all reunited, of course, it was like the Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the FBI were kind of involved because it's like, how did this kid end up halfway around the world? So Nicholas explained to his family and the authorities that he had been captured by what seemed to be members of the military or a military, and he was brought to Europe and forced into a child sex ring.
Whoa.
She said he was tortured and sexually abused repeatedly for 3 years. He was prohibited from speaking English. His hands and legs had been broken. And
oh my gosh.
yeah, and the kidnappers had even injected a substance into his eyes to change the color so that he couldn't be identified.
What the fuck?
Right. So it's like, this is crazy because this is like an international human trafficking thing and someone who escaped. So they're like, okay, we need to figure this out because if members of our military are working with, it's just like a whole mess.
We would like to know. Yeah.
Right.
And get them.
Yes. So yeah, and then this was all like changing his eye color was just an attempt to hide his identity. And as I mentioned, he was prohibited from speaking English. So he had now been speaking with a very heavy accent.
Like a Spanish accent or
Yeah, it was just kind of like a European accent, they said.
Okay.
And he just seemed like a completely different person. I mean, it was 3 years later, so from 13 to 16, lots of changes can happen. And not to mention, he was tortured and abused like that for 3 years. So it was just kind of not unexpected that he would seem completely different.
No.
But the family didn't care. All that seemed to matter was that Nicholas was safe and at home.
Right. Wow.
So, as we just kind of mentioned, authorities were trying to keep the whole nature of the kidnapping quiet because of the investigation that they were doing. Local media did start to cover the story, but the kind of details like that were kept very vague. It was more so, oh, this boy has been found. Yay. So, but there were lots of news outlets that had an inkling that something different was going on. Like there was more to the story, as they were right to think.
Right.
A kind of a tabloid entertainment show in Texas called Hard Copy ended up hiring a private investigator to look into the details of the kidnapping. They hired a man named Charlie Parker. And they just wanted to be the first to get the real story. So this is just like a few months later after he had returned. So Beverly's, which is Nicholas's mother, she decided that Nick should actually stay with his sister and her family and her husband and 2 children. She was like, no, you should live with them in their home. And so Charlie Parker arrived at their home with the Hard Copy crew to interview Nicholas. But Charlie just felt that something was off. He thought the whole situation was very odd and strange, especially when Nicholas spoke, because his accent was so thick, like,
right.
But no one was asking questions because of what had just occurred to this person.
Right.
So the accent definitely threw him, but also his general appearance because his hair, Nicholas was a blonde, blue eyed kid. His hair appeared to be brown that was dyed blonde. And just the fact of the eye color change, which he did say that they were injecting things into his eyeballs that caused the color change.
But his family knows him and knows that this is him, right? I
Right.
don't know why I keep thinking you're going to be like, it's not him. It's someone
Well,
else.
what's crazy is he even had the tattoos. There was like a cross tattooed
Okay.
between his thumb and finger, that kind of area. So he had that tattoo and everything.
I know too, as you get old, like my hair was like bleach blonde when I was a kid, and now it's brown, like a darker brown. So, but it
Right.
being dyed blonde is kind of weird.
Exactly, yeah. But
Okay.
this family, like, no one has any reason to question this family. You know what I mean? They're like, no, this is him.
Right. Okay.
But Charlie's something is weird because this is also like a 16-year-old boy, and he has a pretty heavy 5 o'clock shadow that's really dark.
Okay.
And then Charlie remembered something that he actually learned from the Scotland Yard, the police in the UK, when they actually used ear identification to apprehend James Earl Ray, the man who assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. in the London airport when he was attempting to flee to Brussels. They
Okay.
used ear identification because apparently he had changed his whole appearance to figure out it was actually him. So I guess Charlie took the film crew aside and was like, hey, do me a favor and zoom in on his ears. What a strange question to ask. But
Right. I've never heard
they
of
did.
this either. Ear ID.
Me neither. Right, ear
Okay.
ID. So yeah, he got them to zoom in and then he asked for some more old pictures of Nicholas. And after leaving and going home, he compared the images on his computer.
Did the ears
And
match up?
the ears were like completely different, dude. This person was not Nicholas.
I knew it. Sorry. What the heck? So who's in on it?
That is a really good question, actually. So now Charlie continued with the investigation, however, not for trying to find out how this kidnapping happened, but who the hell was this person? He was like, is this like an international spy? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, what?
Right. So he, just to kind of confirm everything, he started to contact some other professionals. Like he contacted a linguistics professor at a Texas university. And this professor said that there was no way that Nicholas could have lost his natural American accent after just 3 years, which is kind of funny because we were talking about Big Brother T-Core with she
Yeah.
was like lived in London but spent time in Boston or something, so her accent is kind of all over the place, but this guy was like strictly speaking with a European accent.
Okay. Yeah.
He also started talking to some different ophthalmologists,
Well,
smart eye people, and they said that it was impossible to churn blue eyes brown with an injection. Which it's like, okay, I agree. There is that stuff that makes your eyelashes grow that they're like, oh, this may change your eye color. Have you heard of that stuff? Okay. I just remember seeing commercials for it. And you know how, like, in medicine commercials, they'll be like, oh, it will do this. And then it's like 10 minutes of side effects.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But one of those things would be like, oh, this could change blue or green eyes brown or something. But still, like, there's not an injectable thing that you put in your eyeballs
Yeah.
to like change the
Okay.
eye color.
Yeah. I thought that was wild.
Right. And like awful, like if it was
Yeah.
true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Charlie, the private investigator, called Nicholas's mother right away and said that I have some bad news for you. This person's staying with your daughter that you've welcomed back into your family. This is not Nicholas. This is a complete stranger. And Beverly just refused to believe him.
Or does she know?
Questions that we need these answers. But yeah, the whole family was just like, no, you guys are being ridiculous. This is Nicholas, which it's also, yeah, is it something sinister or is it some kind of weird psychological
Like
thing?
they want him back. Right.
Right. No matter what. But it's like,
But
I
for that
hope
many
to never.
people, to like
Right.
agree.
And a stranger, like this strange man.
Right.
I never want to know what that feeling is.
No, of course, yeah.
But I truly don't think I would accept a true stranger, especially a strange man, into like my home.
No, absolutely not. At what point did he get the tattoos is what I need to know.
I will definitely.
Okay.
I will explain that. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to buckle in. Sorry, I have so many questions.
Yeah, you're all good. But at this point, quote unquote, Nicholas and his family,
Yeah.
they're all insisting that like he is who he says he is. You guys are being crazy. So at this point, Charlie is sharing his findings with the FBI, and they're like, So they go to interview this Nicholas again, and he's taken to a forensic psychiatrist or psychologist as well. And after this, they concluded that there is just no way possible this man could, one, be American, and two, be Nicholas Barclay.
Okay.
So now the FBI is telling the family their findings, and the family is still refusing to believe this, even though Nicholas, comparing pictures, even the FBI can see, okay, like this guy is completely different.
It's all
This
in
guy
the ears.
seems old. It's the freaking ears, dude.
It's all in the ears. This guy's old. That's crazy.
Right. So the one of the FBI agents assigned to the case is named Nancy Fisher. So after they're trying to talk to the family, get them to reason with them about this, they ask Beverly for DNA samples, which she refuses. And of course, like she can say yes or no for Nicholas, I guess, as well. So she
Right.
refuses
Well,
Nicholas.
if she's his parent.
Right.
But how does the law work if she isn't?
I know. I guess.
What a weird gray area.
Right. And it's just weird that she's refusing to give it. Why not just give it if you know deep down in your heart of hearts that he is your son? Why not do it to prove them wrong? So they had to obtain a warrant, and they got the warrant. It is February 1998 at this point. So just a few months later.
Okay.
Yeah, like 4 months later. And Beverly was very resistant. She pretty much threw herself on the floor, literally, and was like, "You can't make me. I'm not going to get up." Whatever. Like, she is not being reasonable. But eventually they got the samples from both Nicholas and Beverly. So it takes, this is back in the old days. It takes some time for these samples to process. So about a month later, Beverly called Charlie, the private investigator, and told him that, "Oh, you know what? I think you're right. Nick is an imposter." And he's like, "Really, girl?"
Babe.
I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. And then the next day, Charlie took Nicholas out to dinner when Nicholas eventually confessed that he was actually a 24-year-old man from France.
24.
24. And his name was Frederick Boudin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freddie, where are you coming from?
Right.
Well, France, I guess, but in Spain.
Right.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
Freddie?
Right. So Frederick was also a con man, and he was very much wanted by Interpol.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say con man for sure. Can confirm.
He was known for frequently impersonating missing children. That was like his MO.
Is this? Wow.
Yeah. It is insane.
Think there's other people whose MO that is somewhere? How's he not on
know.
the list for this?
Right. How did he get away from to this level? Like, he went across the pond, man. How did he do this? So after he confessed, the FBI fully took over. And so they not only started to investigate Frederick, but also they're like, okay, this is weird. Where's the real Nicholas Barclay?
Right. That's been a question of mine as well. And I'm still like, why was the brother so weird when he got back too?
Brother was so weird. The family's insisting that it's him. It just all seems so strange. So they called Beverly in for a polygraph, which she did pass the first one. But when they gave the second one to her, she failed, they said, miserably. Like, it was jumping off the table.
Dang.
And it was just questions about if she had an idea what happened to Nicholas, or it was those kinds of questions. Now, Jason, the older brother, eventually agreed to be interviewed, but he gave just very short and vague answers. And then after a certain amount of time, he refused to be interviewed until he had a lawyer present.
Okay.
And so, like, going back, it's just interesting to note that the police were called to the Barclay home a few times after Nicholas disappeared. Either Jason would call the cops on Beverly or Beverly would call the cops on Jason because they were arguing. You know, Jason would just be like, she's just drunk and screaming at me, blaming me for, you know, her son running away, he would say. But then the cops would get there and they'd be like, oh no, everything's fine. This is fine. And then that last time the police were called was Jason calling them saying, oh, I saw Nicholas try to break into the garage and then he ran away.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Now, right. So, unfortunately, just a few weeks after Frederick Bourdain confessed, Jason overdosed and passed away.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, no one knows if this was on purpose or was it truly an accident. We'll never know. So, through all of this, the FBI had found that Bourdain had impersonated missing children in more than a dozen European countries. Right. And actually, so to answer some of those questions that you had earlier, and he says this all in this documentary that I watched. This is a few years ago. It's called The Imposter, and it's a really good watch. And he said that he did this because his mom had him when he was really young, and his father was from Algeria. And his mother's grandfather was like incredibly racist. So even before he was born, he was like, you need to get rid of this. She was very much encouraging her to have an abortion. And he doesn't go much into what else happened in his childhood, but you can imagine that it wasn't a very pleasant one, which gives no excuse to what he's doing. So I think it seems like he was impersonating missing children to get that attention and that like love or whatever. And how he got away with this to begin with was he was in Spain. He pretty much called the cops on himself, pretending like he was a tourist. And he's like, my wife and I just found this young boy. I think he's just around, 15 years old. And he doesn't know where he is and blah, 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 blah. And whatever. So the cops come and take him and they're trying to figure out who he is. And they're like, he says, eventually he's like, I'm American. And they're like, okay, like, let's contact your family in America. And he's like, I don't want you guys contacting them. I want to contact them. I don't want them to talk to you at all because I'm sure they miss me very much. So he somehow convinces them to, leave him alone in their office overnight. I'm not kidding. This is crazy.
Overnight?
Because he's like, the time difference. That's when I'll be able to talk to them and I just need time. Gosh. So it's in, a police department. So there's all different kinds of files in there. And he finds the numbers for the American missing and exploited children department place, and he just starts putting out feelers about different missing kids. And he finally gets one lady who's like, oh, could it be a kid named Nicholas Barclay? I'll fax you over his picture. And it's just like a black and white picture, and it appears that he has brown hair and brown eyes. So he's like, perfect, I can be this person. Right. And then he is like, that is him. That's him. And so that's how it all starts. And then he finds out, dude, it's insane. And then, however, they send it more information and he's like, oh man, this kid has blonde hair and blue eyes and a couple tattoos. Like, what am I going to do? So he ends up like running away while everyone's negotiating. He runs away out of the home and he gets hair dye. So he's able to dye his hair. And this whole time he's keeping himself very covered. Like, he doesn't want anyone to touch him. And they're like, whoa, this kid is traumatized. So
Oh my
they're giving him
God.
the benefit of the doubt. And actually, at the youth home, there's a girl who does stick and poke tattoos. So he knows to get the tattoo right here. He's like, I don't know what made me like say yes to this kid or to being this kid, but I just had a feeling, and he ran with it. And then when the sister showed up, he was very nervous.
I
But
bet.
he was shocked when she like was like, "You're cool, come with me."
Yeah, same. That's
Yeah. So
crazy.
it is so crazy. And what's also really messed up, so he would actually spend 6 years in American prison for all this. And during that time, I watched interviews of him doing this because like the news would come to interview him. But he would call the missing children's line and give in fake information about missing kids.
What the fuck?
Like, super fucked up.
That's yeah.
He actually led the Tampa police on a wild goose chase because this little sweet baby was abducted from her home in Tampa. And he must have just like randomly got some information right and gave those poor parents hope and everything. Like,
That's disgusting.
this awful man. And yeah, he ended up getting deported back to France, and now he is married with 3 children, just
What
living
the
his life.
fuck? Ew.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately, Nicholas has never been found.
Damn, that was going to be my next question. So what actually happened to him too?
I just, because the documentary has the mom and the sister, and they're interviewing Frederick Borden as well, and he's explaining why and how he did everything. But the family at first does seem very, I don't know, genuine, that they genuinely just wanted to believe that they had Nicholas back. But then at the end, you're starting to be like, dude, this guy looks so different. This is a 24-year-old man. Like, his face doesn't even look the same.
That's what gets me. Like how, and maybe it's like, I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so maybe it's some kind of like trauma response or something. But like it's hard for me to wrap my head around, that's for sure. Like if he doesn't look the same at all, like how can you, I can't, I don't know. And as a
Right,
mom
right.
too, your kid.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And it's interesting that instead of having Nicholas come live with her, or Nicholas, she's like, no, you go stay with your sister,
True.
So it's
yeah.
like, I don't know. And I can only imagine, like, if Jason did something and then it's like, oh, no, we found him. So maybe that's why
kind
he
of what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
and
like
Beverly also says something interesting. She said, I don't believe Jason could do that. He didn't have a mean bone in his body. Or if he did, I didn't know anything about it. And it's
But
like,
she called the
that's
cops
a
on him.
lot. Right, exactly.
right.
So yeah, just so strange, so sad.
And the saddest is just that no one still knows what happened to Nicholas, or if they know, they're not saying and haven't received justice for it.
For sure. Maybe he did run away and is living his best life somewhere.
I hope so.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So that was the story of the imposter.
So did you hear about it from that documentary? Because I'd never heard about this one.
Yep, that was the first time I heard of the story, and I watched it. It was in the past 5 years or so, but it was actually released in 2012. So it's been out for
okay.
a good time. But yeah, it's a really good watch,
Okay.
and you'll just want to strangle this guy too, because he's just so like devious looking, and like once you see the pictures
The
side by
imposter.
side, you're like, yeah, you're gonna be like, bro, what?
That's crazy, man. I kind of want to look at, let me see if I can Google it while we're.
Oh yeah, you should. It's almost laughable.
What the fuck? They don't look anything alike at all. Like the nose
know.
is so different.
And just like the face shape and
Yeah. Weird, dude.
super weird.
Do we have any more Swiftie stuff to talk about? Because I actually rambled on at the beginning.
Oh no, it's all good. So we're looking forward to the VMAs. The only reason why like I have a bit of pause for the VMAs is because it is on September the 11th, right?
Yeah, there's that. And it's kind of similar to the announcement for TTPD too in the same year.
Right. That would be like because she got enough kind of flack for how she announced
Yeah.
TTPD.
Yeah, it would be ballsy to announce it that way again.
Right, right.
I mean, I'm
I'm
here
just
for it.
I'd be excited. I'd be stoked. But
Yeah.
I get it. But there does seem to be some other drama happening with the VMAs, with
Oh.
Chapel Roan, unfortunately. Not
No.
that she's really doing anything bad, but like
Okay.
she was supposed to start her European tour and she ended up canceling, I think, her shows in Paris and Amsterdam, and then she rescheduled the Berlin one because of scheduling conflicts. And people are saying that she's like a sellout for because she's canceled those to perform at the VMAs,
Uh,
you know?
yeah.
So it's like I get it because it's the VMAs,
Yeah. But like you
but
don't
it's
want to
like,
cancel show. It's interesting she didn't just reschedule.
right, right.
It also kind of like matches with her like personality, not being a sellout at all, but like just her doing what she wants to do,
Right,
and like not
exactly.
just doing what the fans want her to do. She's always said she's not going to be that kind of artist too.
For
But yeah,
sure.
it still sucks when you pay for a ticket, think you're going, and then
Yeah.
don't get to. So, dang.
Yeah, that'd be a huge bummer, but I'm excited to see her perform. Hopefully, we'll see Taylor like bop into Hot to Go.
Oh my God, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
out
be
there
so
doing
cool.
yeah.
Right. But oh my gosh, if the 1989 costume or outfit is like,
Why
it
was it
makes
pink
me
and
angry.
yellow?
Why? Why?
And
What
then
is the
I'm still
reason?
stuck on her doing the 2-0 during Red,
Yeah.
during 22.
What does
It
that
must have
mean?
been for Florence and the music video. I don't know. I was just gonna say it seems like it would be for something bigger, but
It has to be because like what is that?
what
Um,
is that, Taylor?
What is that? And so now is Florida a part of the set list? Of course, I'm not expecting Florence to come out again like that, but I
I
wonder.
wouldn't think so. Like you think she would just sing it on her own?
Right.
I don't
Because,
know.
like, how can she not sing that in Miami?
That's a good point. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was like a special occasion type thing or if it's like a permanent addition.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm interested to see. She might do it as a surprise song in Miami, but
That would be cool.
yeah, you would want it kind of as the set in the
Right.
set.
It's
Did you
like,
see that a Swiftie who got the beads got tickets to the Eras tour?
I did.
And I wonder if they're gonna do more. I haven't seen anything about anyone else getting tickets to a show.
Right, right. I just saw the one girl, but
Same.
Capital One has done more of those giveaways.
Oh, they have?
You know, with the phone. Yeah, like they did one for New Orleans, and I think they did one for Vancouver. But it's like different
Oh.
colors. But it's like the Orleans one is like a purple phone, which could kind of match with
Oh.
the vibe. So I don't know if it's an Easter egg or not, but
It's
I don't
gotta
know,
be.
man. It has to. But
Did
what if
you
it is?
right? Did you get the friendship bracelet and the private message? I haven't done it yet.
I did, yes. I
What was the
did.
message?
I think I screenshot it actually. Yeah. Okay, here it is. It said, "You did it. Maybe even with a broken heart. You're a certified Swiftie. Thanks for celebrating all 11 eras with us during the European leg of Taylor Swift slash the Eras tour. Enjoy this exclusive profile frame you earned proudly."
I thought it was
And
gonna
you
be
know
a
what,
video
people?
message.
Right. Have you ever seen A Christmas Story?
Oh, it's been so long, but yeah.
So there's like this he's trying to decode the message like through half of the movie of like the Red Rider, and he's like desperately trying to get it and fight, like he's listening to the radio show, and finally he gets the last clue and he's decoding it on the thing, and it's like, remember to drink your Ovaltine.
Yes.
And it's like, it feels like that.
It does.
And so
That's
many
so
other people
funny.
are saying that too, like on
Yeah.
TikTok and stuff. It's like, remember to drink your Ovaltine, or be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Oh my God. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
I was like, she's either releasing rep or it's going to be underwhelming.
That is all for today's episode of Crimenelia Street. You can follow us on Instagram at Crimenelia Street or TikTok at Crimenelia ST Podcast. Feel free to send us an email at crimeneliast@gmail.com.